Stream, you know, okay, I believe it's starting, and I believe we're live at this point in time. So, you guys, welcome, welcome to another episode of the Debrief. I thank you to everybody that joins. It's not gonna be the best, and it's not gonna be the worst, hopefully. But I set up a little set in Arma 3. I have the gang with me. No, the crew with me. Let's go with the crew. We got over here. We got Hudson. Hudson's,
Hello.
and then we got Justice.
Hello, bonjour.
Then we got Mage. Okay, silence. And then we also have Raptor.
Hi.
And he's not least, last but not least, I didn't say that, but, I hope you guys do enjoy. So we're in Arma today as like a set, and we kind of all got dressed up and fancied up. We also have a crew here. We have a porta potty just in case. You got our tents and our Humvee. So first things first. What I need to do this in advance, but we're gonna talk about Armor 3. Last time we did it about those guys. Today I'm gonna ask you guys. Okay, simple question. What do you think about Arma 3, and how has it helped you in the long run? Or not? Let me rephrase it. How has it been for you? I guess. How has the game benefited you, or anything like that? So, whoever wants to start, you can start.
Okay, I guess I'll start. So Arma, this game has been, if I remember, it came out back in 2013.
Yeah.
I was a little kid. I used to watch it on, my little iPod that my mom bought me. I fell in love with the game for the realism, and I worked super hard to get a PC so I could play. I found this unit as one of the funnest things I've ever done. And I gotta say, it's been pretty good. And the upside of being a Zeus, or a person who makes ops, is I get to shoot people I don't like. It's pretty fun.
uh, yeah, that I see how it is, but it's on Zeus point, so it's the enemies at that point in time, so it's not
True.
classified as friendly fire. Smart.
True.
I guess Raptor. You have anything to add on, or anything like that?
Basically, I started playing Arma because I started getting tired of dumber games like Call of Duty and shit that didn't promote teamwork. Arma promotes teamwork like 100 times more than any of those games. So, decided, you know what, I'm gonna give Arma a try, join the community. And yeah, I joined Reaper Company and never regretted it since. I love this family. I love Arma. It's great, promotes teamwork. Everybody gets the job done because they work together.
Okay, now Hudson.
I was just kind of bored one day and got Arma in a pack on Humble Bundle and booted it up, and my life hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, seems like me. And then I just guess Mage is quiet today, really quiet. But at least he's here, right? Alright, so if Mage, if you have anything, just send me do whatever you have. Go ahead. Okay, hold on. I think it may be me. One sec. Okay, I'm back.
No, I just wasn't talking.
Okay. Okay, go. Uh I guess that's it from him. Okay, so like you mentioned, I do like the game. Like I said, like Justice, you know, like Justice. He hold on. Like Justice, I watched it on YouTube. Operate Drewski, if you guys ever watched him, shout out to him. He's
Yeah.
probably the best Arma 3 creator for the realism factor. If you want somebody that's funny and whatnot, you got Soviet Womble, Nordin. That's about all the ones that I know of funny aspects, as well as like Dark Liberator. Those guys are really cool. Maxer, and then also Mage had put his friend made him buy it, and I guess he likes it now. Um, but from an aspect of the Milsim esque, how do you like that part? Does that like Raptor said, it encourages teamwork instead of you just run to get kills and keep up your KD. Whereas this, you hardly ever notice how many kills you get, unless you're like somebody that really looks at the scoreboard. Anything from you guys?
I mean, I like it. It's fun when you're working a part of a unit. I like when I team lead. It's fun leading people under your command, your subordinates. It is fun. When you think about it, when you play the game, you don't think about, oh, kills this or kills that. Can I get a kill streak? You think about, okay, we gotta go do this. We gotta go clear these towns. We got an objective. We have a task that we must complete in a certain amount of time or to a certain standard. And that's what I kind of like. It's like the military. It's like what you're supposed to do, clearing buildings, worrying about civilians, worrying about your casualties. Like, you don't instantly respawn on your team when you die. You have to get reinserted, or if you're down, you have to get treated by medics, and that's the aspect I like about a milsim.
Yeah. Anything to add to that point?
So,
I'll go ahead, Raptor.
so I'm always one for authenticity. I love, I love being realistic. I love
Mm-hmm.
everything making sense. You know, they, the more close to real life it is, the more I like it. Building on that, I know that this is still a game, so there are limits to how realistic we should be. Because if we make it too realistic, it stops being fun. So that's sort of the balance you got to make with Arma, but still, I think you can achieve that realism while still having fun, and that's sort of the point of Reaper Company. Now, this is gonna get a bit personal for me. Reason I like milsims. My main reason, I ain't got no legs, right? So
Yeah.
there ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be fucking signing up for the Marines and going out and fighting like I actually didn't want to do when I was a kid. I've always been interested in the military. I've always wanted to do that stuff. Like my dad, but ain't got no legs, so there ain't no doing that. So joining the milsim was pretty much my way of still being able to do something like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was talking? Was that Hudson before?
Yes.
You want to go now?
I mean, for me, it's just that unit cohesion. It's just that, I guess, that teamwork element. You sit there, you properly plan something out for 30 minutes. You take the time to sit there and think of every possible angle to come at something, and think of what could happen to you, what could happen to the people around you while you're in it, and to create that plan and execute it and watch as everything goes perfectly in it, which has happened a few times. When the plan just goes right, it's just this great feeling at the end of just, man, that actually worked. And that's the thing that I like.
Insert a team quote.
Yeah. But disagree, but yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I got a question for you guys.
Go.
What do you guys consider? Do you consider Air Force to be like what they've done to be realistic? Like it's a game, but do you consider the dogfights you might see or like the bombs drop to be realistic? Does that seem realistic to you? Is what I'm trying to put across.
As the only other member besides you that spent any actual time in the Air Force in this milsim, I'm going to go along the lines of saying no, because in real life you don't have a jet drop 15 missiles on you at once and then just fly in circles because it can no longer shoot you down. So the dogfighting really doesn't feel that realistic. The only time that it would ever felt realistic was during the World War II era that we ran for a while. Because at least then, it wasn't here's 15 missiles, have fun, you evade them all. Now, what do? You just fly in a circle shooting them down because they have nothing left to shoot you with. And as far as the bombs go, if it were being more realistic, there'd be a lot more bombs dropped and a lot less entry usage unless there were the specific requirements set, such as no damage to property or no casualties of any kind that are non-hostile, right? So definitely there's things on both sides there, but that's just my 2 cents.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah, I would say from like a ground perspective, whenever you guys drop bombs and stuff like that, I think it's become more realistic to the fact of, you guys have to calculate stuff on like JDAMs and stuff like that where you wouldn't just, you know, always use GPUs, you may use different variations and you have more variations of bigger bombs to shoot and stuff like that. I think of that fact, I do like it, and sometimes it gets a little bit hectic in the sky. Like, let's say a C-130, like an AC-130, a little much. But I think all in all, it's not really realistic, but it's as close as it gets, at least in our mod pack. And Arma 3 is probably not the best, I would say. Does that make sense to you, Justice? Not from
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
Rap, do you have anything on the subject?
I mean, in terms of general flying, we have some rough spots. It really just depends on who's doing it, to be honest. Because I've seen, perfect maneuvers, I've seen fucking awesome strikes and all that. But then I've also seen people flying insanely low for no reason. I've also seen some show-offs and a bunch of other things that shouldn't be happening. But it's really just a case-by-case thing, to be honest, because I've seen some I've seen some nice stuff, and then I've seen some not nice stuff. It's just kind of, I don't know. I think in terms of air combat, Arma 3 is not the most realistic out there. There's definitely a game much more suited to realism in terms of air combat. But, in Arma 3, you can become quite close while also being able to have the ground armored and everything else that you may see in a war.
Yeah. I would say also on that fact is that I feel like this is a overall for Milsim aspect. I don't. Let me rephrase that. It's more for multiple roles instead of one role game. Like you definitely have games that are really dedicated to the Air Force, right? Like DCS and the X series, the flight simulator, and there's people that really get into those and whatnot. Yeah, but those are really suited for, all the graphics are suited for aircraft more or less than, ground. So this I feel like is a well-rounded game for at least ground and air. May not be for Navy, which I hope that they improve on the next generation of Arma. But yeah, and like you said, in terms, it also depends on the people. It's not always just, it's so easy to fly. Yeah, it is a little bit, but you have to learn how to dogfight or whatnot from the World War II era. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Okay, so since I talked about DCS, is there any other games come to that level of your favorite games? Shit, no.
It was Rainbow Six because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but the aspect of clear becoming being a part of a special forces unit in the term like, oh, this is where this person came from, this is their special ability. I found that really enjoyable. And then I found out when I played with my friends and we did actual room clearing, like we go in, breach and clear with flashbangs, check our corners. It was fun, but it wasn't practical. Like we could do it and it would be successful, but it'd take too long in the rounds. But
Yeah.
when we were just running and gunning, that type of stuff was also fun. And you have to and then you have to remember, oh crap, I gotta be careful with how many bullets I take. And oh yeah, it's only one life per round.
Yeah.
You gotta remember some of those aspects. Which is what I like.
Yeah.
So
I'll say on the aspect of I always thought this is that I just started thinking this actually is playing the Arma and then learning CQC how we do it. I feel like there's like one major thing missing from the whole CQC and Arma aspect. I don't know. Maybe it's just because you always fanboy of it. You have those memes where it's like FBI open up and they jump down through the skylight, busting the door and stuff like that.
yeah,
That you expect from Arma, but Arma's a lot simpler, and I kind of get that where you're not gonna kick in the door always. You're not gonna do all these different things. You'd probably like turn the knob and open it. You're probably not gonna shoot the door off its hinges unless you like have HVT or something like that. And that's one aspect that I feel that Arma kind of lacks a little bit. But all in all, second my favorite game, be honest with you, that I've actually liked has been a complete turnaround in Red Dead 2. That's me. Anybody?
yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you got the aspect of, real life in modern day time, but for me, I'm like a history buff kind of guy. So I kind of
Okay.
like to go back to, if I could play War of Rights or Hold Fast Nations at War or, any of those games that are like that where it's muzzle loading, yeah, it's probably going to take a while to load the gun, but I just like that aspect of trying to relive what your history is, right? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Any games besides those two that you might like? Raptor, Hudson, Mage,
Squad.
Squad. There's another one that's within the Milsim aspect. Yeah,
The original Halo Combat Evolved, not any of the Gearbox ports, not the Master Chief Collection port. The original Xbox disc version of the game.
that that seems like that would be a good one. I don't think I've played it. To be honest with you, maybe I'm just too young to have played it. But
Uh, Ironically, when I was younger, I got to play it and I actually loved it.
yeah. Okay,
And the
so
reason for that, oh,
hmm
sorry. The reason for that specific port is when the game first came out on Xbox, they had everything right. All the lighting worked, all the texture filtering, everything was crisp, perfect on it. The second that they ported it to the Xbox 360 and to the computer, the company that did the port, Gearbox, messed it up where a lot of the lighting and texture bugs are now just permanently hardwired into it. And instead of taking the original code that they had, the original files for it, Microsoft took the PC port and ported that back over to Xbox for the revamped, redone graphics version. So that's why.
I can see that. You just rip it from the game, port it to the PC, and then don't fix any bugs, and then shift it right into. I can see how that could be like really bad. I like Arma. Arma's one of those games where you kind of can accept those mistakes. It's just a part of Arma that you barely tap a tank and it goes flying across the map, right? Or is that just me?
No, it is not just you.
It's like I know we keep coming back to Arma, but I'm trying to focus around a topic basically, so it's kind of coming back. But yeah, I can see how I've never played the game, but I did play Halo Reach whenever it was free on the Xbox for like a month or so, and the story was besides me playing other stories was one of the best that I've ever actually played. Like the story felt right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
It,
does.
it just connected. I know you guys are gonna call me out, but the next one that I like, and it was Call of Duty World War II. You guys could be like, yeah, Call of Duty, this is going down the rocks or whatnot, but that one, but that campaign though, it was just something about it just fit.
Yeah, I have to agree. The campaign was enjoyable.
Like maybe
Oh,
nothing else was, but the campaign felt like you know
yeah, like the multiplayer was rough around the edges. Personally, for me, it was honestly MW2 had to be what really got me into game. That and Minecraft had to be what got me into gaming, and like for example, MW2 campaign, beautiful, multiplayer, challenging but competitive but fun. And like sure, there's some aspects of that I would never want to do again, but still, it's again well-rounded game.
yeah, especially whenever that's the first time probably most people got into quick scoping.
Yeah,
Like
fucking hate it.
anything you guys don't any campaigns you guys feel like should be continued, I guess.
Ghost, honestly.
Yeah, that one I feel
That
like
one left on a cliffhanger, and I really wish I knew what happened.
you and me are in the same boat. What do you think, Raptor?
I mean, I would agree because if we're talking about God now, looking back to Ghosts, it was hated, but I think it was underappreciated. Um, Considering what we've had lately. Um, like, yeah, Justice. I mean, it ended on a cliffhanger, and they never even talked about it since. So, like, I don't
Like,
know. Like, I'd be alright with a Ghost too, but I think
Yeah.
it's a little too for that.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you follow the credits, I watched this on a video a while back. Somehow you get put in a cage and there's rain above, and that's all you know about the later story. And like you said, it's a cliffhanger, especially if you don't see that part and you just end the campaign whenever he's dragging you off. You don't watch the credits or anything like that.
I'll be right back.
Justice. Anything you have to say, Hudson? Any?
Never really played the Call of Duty games other than, when I was at a sleepover at a friend's house. Didn't even bother with the story. Nah.
Okay, talking about story, I could port this into something. I just thought about this. Stories. Okay, Assassin's Creed. Okay, what was, if you ever played the game, what do you think was your favorite Assassin's Creed? I personally feel like if I could go back and play it again, I played a little bit of the story and I never really got to it. But Assassin's Creed, was it 2 or 3? The ones that's in like the American Civil War, not no, the American Revolutionary War, and then also Syndicate. If they continue that World War II storyline that they had, would have been perfect. I feel like, you got a lot of different things, but in the Assassin's Creed, they all come down to basically you're assassin. They are Templars. You have to take out the Templars so to save the human race, basically. And somehow those factors, it's so simple, it works in my book. You guys have any opinions?
I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a very long time, but I know the story was way more complex than that.
Well, it, yeah, it's definitely complex, but at the same time, if you go down to like the nitty gritty of stuff, you just realize if you go like compress it a lot, yeah, there's a lot of different stories that you have to focus on and a lot of different things to look at. But in the long run, the base storyline is basically you have these Templars, right? That they stay with. These Templars, you're also attached to a computer company that wants to look at them, which ends up at least one of them ends up being corrupt. So you run around the country and stuff like that, and you know yada yada yada. But basically, you had Templars. You had to take them out. Once you take them out, you saved. You found this, and then you found it in real life. Now go back to the game if you want to play it, and that's the end of the story. There's a lot more complex to be thinking about it, but somewhat if you just compress it and whatnot, you go down to the very semblance of the story. That's what I feel like is the basis of those. Um, but it seems like no one's really talking about this, so I'm trying to change the subject here. Unless you guys have anything
Sorry,
on that.
sorry to interject, but I apparently have to go load the jeep for
Oh,
certain reason. So I'll be right back. It'll probably take me 10 minutes.
okay. See you, Justice. Okay, so we talked about Halo, we talked about Arma, we talked about those COD games that really, I feel like the underappreciated ones, there's a lot because, yeah, there's a lot of different ones that people look at the newer ones. They don't look at the older ones, right? Whenever you think about COD, you think Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, all these newer ones that aren't really the best, right? But if you look back in the COD series, you got COD 1, 2, 3, 4, Modern Warfare. You got the revamp. I feel like the story for Modern Warfare, like the revamp version, is good. I personally don't like the multiplayer. Not I don't like it. I'd rather just play the campaign for all Call of Duties, if that makes sense. No matter what the multiplayer is, no matter what, I just like getting those games and playing the campaign only. That's me, at least, because they have good campaigns. They got good storylines. You do enough that it makes it interesting, especially like ones like Black Ops, right? Where you have Mason seeing numbers and then you find out what those numbers are through like a whole campaign, right?
Yeah. No, like the Black Ops series, or Black Ops 1 and 2, specifically. And basically any COD before 2013 was good. After 2013, things started falling downhill.
Yeah. I
Modern Warfare 2019 was pretty much it's the first COD that I've actually genuinely liked for the past 8 years. I play it regularly, the multiplayer, Warzone, some of the PvE, although it's not that great. Multiplayer in Warzone's really fun. I enjoy it. I stream it regularly. I think the main reason I like it is because the gunplay in the game actually feels like you're using a gun.
Yeah.
Unlike the others where it's just a regular arcade shooter.
Yeah. Oh, this is one thing I do like about the COD series is at least in World War II, I don't know if they do it here, was the fact of the matter that they had an R&R, rust and recuperate area, where you could actually go back and play old Activision games, right? If you I think it was like you had to pay something or they paid you if you wanted something like that where you could go there and play it. And I feel like it was kind of nostalgic almost, right? Thinking about all these different stuff that came beforehand that you don't really play with, or play as.
Yeah.
Um. Okay, I feel like it's just me and you talking. Anybody else want to put their 2 cents in? Hudson. Okay. Um. Okay, Mage, you got something? So.
I think he done muted his mic again.
Mage, you there?
He's trying to talk.
Yeah, I think he's trying to talk. Well, okay. You have anything to say?
Not really.
Not really.
We need to start. We need to start playing more games as a group.
Oh, what do you mean,
So
like the Reaper Company one?
we need to start getting, because I've seen a bunch of other groups doing it as well. Where we'll just designate one day a week where everyone will get on and play like squad or play, I don't know, like Battlefield or something like that.
Yeah, we could definitely do that, but at the same time, we also promote people to not, join the ops in the way. If you think about it,
Well, it's
is
gonna be during the week,
yeah,
so
but then you also have people that we invite that we like to play with now that join our group and they don't join ops. So then then it's like one of those win-lose situations where everybody's really playing with each other, but then you're losing numbers because you don't have enough people in ops. Kind of have to balance that out. Does that make sense? Or
well, I was just talking about like one day a week. We do it as like a group to see how many people actually want to do other things other than just play ops, because that's, I think, well, people are getting tired of Arma,
yeah, I
right?
get that.
That's because we're getting a little bit lower counts right now
Yeah,
on people joining, and what I've found is the only way to get those up is to do something different, is to um, well, have other things mixed with it, or which this probably won't happen, is just start something new, like completely different.
yeah.
Well,
Like
while still doing the ops, but adding more different things. I don't know, like dumb little tournaments or something.
yeah, I'll be honest. At least I've thought about suggesting doing war games where you get like one guy from SOCOM, not SOCOM,
Yeah,
but
we do something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
where you guys compete on time, basically. So you have to shoot because we don't worry about accuracy because in game, if you miss a shot, you miss a shot. We'd probably include accuracy somewhere, but it would be kind of time and accuracy. So as well as maybe doing some, uh, like exercises, quote unquote. So your guy does push-up animations. Once he's done, the timer starts. Then you have to like book it across like an obstacle course or something, and
Yeah.
you compete that way instead of you guys shooting it out or PvP and whatnot. Where Armo, there's people in Armo that are on both sides where they like role play and then they don't and they want to just shoot stuff. I would kind of hope that Milsim groups would be able to bridge that gap and basically smash it together, which I believe we do,
Yeah.
but at the same time
But
we
we
don't.
try to do it.
We try to do it like yesterday. I should have streamed this, but basically this was the funniest moment. Is Bear did it up last night, right?
Mm.
And he didn't have to role play with us. He was literally I think he was banging on his table or something and yelling at he was as a guy and that guy was yelling at his wife Carol for not taking his sack lunches or something like that to school. Something simple like that where it's not really role play with the players, but just a line like that makes everybody happy. Everybody's actually paying attention to see if that continues down the line, like that storyline. Does that make sense?
Building an environment around the players to make the world feel more alive. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we don't really do that in our group, at least. I feel
Yeah,
like, yeah, go Raptor.
I I really enjoyed that last night because, like you said, he didn't have to do that at all. There was no, I mean, there wasn't even a point in doing it. It was literally like a 10-second thing. We were sneaking along a coast uh, towards an objective, and we were passing this small neighborhood of houses, and just as we passed the last house, uh, we just hear Bear turn himself on yelling, basically, and he's situated himself inside the house, and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs at this wife that he was just yelling at. And it's just like a thing that you just hear a bunch of sibs yelling at each other about. It's an argument. But just the way he did it was just so hilarious because you can hear it like, and it's muffled through the walls too. So it's like, it just adds to the environment, like you said, and it's just great.
Yeah. Um, I feel like, in all seriousness, is that at least in my op, okay, I'll explain what I'm talking about. Is also the fact that we fight AI. We don't fight people, right? Does that make sense? We fight AI, which stand in a corner and then pop up, shoot you through a wall, and you guys get mad, right? And then how I'm trying to do it is also kind of bridge that gap almost, right? With that RP element, is that you may not hear it over radios, you may not hear it over this, that, and the other, but people aren't going to be moving up on you because they're they're just kind of not going to, right? Um, like how do I explain this? Like the element of a helicopter talking to units on the ground, right? That you're getting engaged by a helicopter. That helicopter knows he's probably gonna be fleeing from that position at one point or in time, and so he's gonna be communicating with the ground force that on the enemy team or like the people that you're fighting. He may not know what you're doing on the radio, but he knows that you're moving this way, that way. He doesn't know how to do it, but you may get tricked. They may do this tactic where you lose some, and then you guys get surrounded. I feel like that's a little bit much for this group at this point in time. At least I need to learn how to fix it a little bit. But I think that also bridges that gap that I was talking about of RP and shooty bang bang, as we call it, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just, me and Justice are just arguing with Coleman on how he's a baby, but it's okay. He's being a little baby in Zeus chat, but that's alright.
Okay.
We'll go to other things other than Coleman, because
Yeah.
oh god,
So,
let's not worry about that. Have you guys ever heard of the armor group Coalition?
no, I've never heard of him, be honest.
Okay, well, it's run by a nice fella named Tananka, and he's great. He's funny. So they have like how many people in this group? Let me see real quick. I think there's like a couple thousand people in this group,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the people just played like one time or something. But you can they do this for all groups. It's open to everybody.
Yeah.
You just sign up. They'll put up a sign up sheet, like a whole entire doc, with like a spreadsheet. Uh, like last year they did a um what, like 60v60 um
Yeah. I,
thing, and it was great, dude.
yeah,
It was
we're
60 like well, we were like Filipino uh fighters, and then like some like insurgents or something. It was fun. And we basically, all the squad leads were briefed. They did everything like, you know they do in a milsim, but they did it perfect. The respawn thing, yeah, you can respawn, but you had a timer set exactly to you, so you could not respawn for like 15 minutes, and then when you respawned you had to wait for the respawn wave to fill up as well. Like, that's what the 15 minutes was for. Is so, the wave of people, it could fill up so they could get like 15 people, and then there's your respawn wave. Then you'd go back to your squad, wherever it is. Um, and yeah, this is completely open to anyone.
yeah.
It's great because they're going to be doing a D-Day thing soon, and I want to see if we can get a bunch of guys from here to go and do that, because we can register as a group to go in a certain squad. It's great. We can like actually, here,
I,
I'll send
I
that to you, Glass, so you can look at it. We
yeah.
can like talk about it later, but we need to start doing things like that, but maybe not just, because with this, it's open to every single army unit if anyone wants to do it, right? But
Uh-uh.
we need to start doing things like this, but in our group.
Gotcha. Yeah, that I would say the only problem with that, okay, is that the only problem if we put it into our group, okay, is that we would just have different groups coming in and joining our op, right? They train differently. They train, you know, as well as it's technically advertising, quote unquote. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying technically, if they do better than our server, we may lose members because they're better than us. I guess you could put it. I not really better, but they train differently and they get their members to actually do stuff. So like that would be only my issue. I feel like for me that would be an issue for me is if we did that stuff. I don't know about the administration of our server,
Mm-hmm.
but that's my opinion, and I'm just making sure you know that it's my opinion and not the server's
Yeah.
opinion. And I would talk to Raptor over here and ask him. All right, Raptor, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, it's not really It's promoting, but it's promoting on both sides.
Yes.
So it's like basically trading advertisements and
Yeah.
such. It would make us more popular, more known, but it would be difficult for us to do. As well as it's just a matter of, we need to fix ourselves before we put ourselves out and
Yeah.
try and join other people.
Yeah.
So we need to focus on having good ops ourselves, having full ops where everything works as planned.
Yeah.
And then we can think about joining other people's tournaments or whatever.
And that could also be like we register as like 3 different teams. So let's say you got the SOCOM team, you got Air Force, and then maybe like a couple of ground. We could do that so that you know maybe the SOCOM team will be against the team of the Army guys. So then you kind of got the war games, quote unquote, as in real life, but using actual ammo instead of like blanks and stuff like that.
Well, I think what Mage was proposing was sort of us join as a group fighting other groups. We'll all be on the same team
Well, yeah,
fighting other groups' teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do this all the time. It's just I feel like we need to start doing things like that so we can get, like I said before, try to get more activity. It's like, hey, we're gonna be doing this on this date, and see how many people show up.
I would.
Also, it would be a good way of seeing who's actually here and who's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So we can clean things up a bit.
I. How do I explain this?
Because in the end of the day, we are an armor group. That's what we're made
Yeah.
for. That's what we always will be.
Yeah.
On weekdays and such, we can play whatever and shit. I don't mind having like Squad Tuesdays or fucking Battlefield Thursdays or whatever, as long as
Yeah.
there's no trainings. But weekends are Arma.
Yeah.
They're
Weekend.
going to be Arma.
Yeah. Like somebody said, he's like one of my favorite YouTubers, Pixelated Apollo. He plays all these different games, but he said basically he was doing this call to arms thing, which is musket loaders and whatnot. But they're weekend warriors. We're weekend warriors, basically. We battle on the weekend with the game that we want to play, right? We could have 1,000 people active during the week, but if it comes to weekend and we only have like 25, that's exaggerating. But if we only have 25 to actually play the game, we're not an actual Milsim group. We're just a group of guys that play games together.
Yeah. If we do that and we get to a point where we're getting a lot of more members, but those members are just coming here to play other games and not Arma, then that method's not working.
It's a good idea and all, but like most people would probably have to see is how would it work out? Like Raptor said, would we get the people that we want for the weekend, or would we just get more people to play during the week? You know?
Because see, the thing is, if you join Reaper Company, you can play other games. We have all sorts of games. We have tags for the other games. We're a community. But at the end of the day, you're expected to play Arma. We are a milsim in Arma. That's what we have been made for. That's what you sign up for by joining the milsim.
Yeah.
And we have the guest tag, but I mean, it's just a waste of space to me.
Yeah. I was thinking about this, and it has to do with Arma, but how do you guys feel like is streaming for Arma with the? Do you see? Because I know me and Raptor and Justice maybe and maybe Mage. I don't really remember exactly,
I did it with my other group. We
but
didn't really go nowhere,
but does like the Arma 3 live stream of Milsums, does that get you the most viewership, or what does? Does that make sense? It like for me,
it also depends on where you gotta promote
yeah.
too. Um,
Like I know for me, without promoting, I have made Blaze kind of brought this up to me. Is basically he has 16 followers, right? But during like a main off or whatnot, he none of them view, which I find that most of my followers are actually from this group, right? The people that feel like they're gonna actually watch me if I were to go back, or they're just supporting me, but in turn, some of the followers that you do get from your server, they won't view unless they're not there, or they have nothing better to do, I guess. I'll put it like that. I'm not saying that watching a stream. Yeah, I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying. Any,
So, I've streamed a whole bunch of different games. I've streamed Rainbow Six. I've streamed Call of Duty. I stream Warzone sometimes. I stream fucking. I've recently started streaming For Honor with one of my friends, even though I told myself I wouldn't play that game again. Um, None of them get me many views at all, and the reason for that is because those games, especially Call of Duty, are already very saturated with channels.
yeah,
Everybody's playing those games. So an audience for those games are extremely spread out. I get more viewers playing Squad and Arma 3 than I have for the first 2 years that I've tried streaming. Currently I'm sitting at 75 followers. That's not a lot, but it's way more than I started out with.
uh-huh.
Basically, when I started streaming, I streamed those saturated games for about a year and a half. And for that year and a half, I made it to 23.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I started streaming Arma and Squad, sometimes my viewership has skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
And reason for that, at least I believe, one, I promote myself on the corresponding channels on Discord. Promotion is very helpful. It gets
Yeah.
like-minded individuals to watch your streams, and that's good. Um, Other reason is because, let's be honest, Arma 3 and Squad or games of the Milsim nature, they're not as saturated as
Yeah.
other more easily accessible games
Yeah.
because it caters to a more specific audience. Now, that audience is smaller, yes. However, because there's less channels streaming it,
Get more people.
the viewership isn't
Yeah.
as spread out, which means there's more for everybody to have and watch.
Yeah.
So that's sort of my uh, deduction on why Arma and Squad might get you more viewership. It's also based on how much you actually like the game and how entertaining you can be. That's all
Yeah.
gonna go into sort of how many people you get to watch your stream. But I really enjoy streaming Arma as much as I enjoy playing it. Squad too. Squad's always a bit of fun. Um, Yeah, I'm always gonna love streaming Arma, and I hope that we can get
Yeah,
to places.
get to places, especially. Um, hey, look, this is my shout out, guys. Look up Raptor over here. You know, he's got 1,000 views, right? Correct. And he,
Uh,
like, collectively is about 1,000, right? But he doesn't have that many viewerships during his live streams, so he needs 3 people. He needs 3 people to watch constantly. So if you could go over to Twitch and go follow my man Raptor. Hi underscore I'm underscore Raptor. There you go. There's your promotion, Raptor. Um, if you guys do come here, I will be promoting everybody that does if they have anything to promote. I I know that I'm a growing channel and whatnot, but in the long term, I just want to do this for fun. So if I lose viewership because of that, you know what? I don't care. Maybe this podcast could skyrocket because no one, I repeat, no one is doing an Arma 3 podcast. At
Yes,
least
there
from
is.
my. There's
There
probably
is.
one other person. Well, I find that funny, but for
It's
yeah,
uh,
And I'm back.
Remy,
Remy.
yeah, that guy. Yeah, but he has an idea. I had an idea. And somebody said, actually, it was Blaze that said that I was a ripoff for me. I don't think so, because what I'm
I mean,
discussing is probably the
other
same.
people maybe.
Yeah,
Sorry to interject, but what are we on right now?
we're talking about how I just was promoting Raptor and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's uh it's getting to about the time, about an hour. It's 56:47. So I'll start to end it here. So any final remarks from you, Hudson? I haven't heard a lot from you in the past couple minutes. Is he even there?
I haven't had much to add. Yeah, not much there, but thanks for having me.
Yeah. That you have anything else you would like to say? Just anything?
Don't really have anything to add to it.
Oh, so then, Mage, you have anything to say? Anything to add?
Um, not not much.
Yeah.
It's I haven't been here for like half of it, but next time I'll try to be here. It's just I had stuff to do. So,
Yeah.
dear
Just
God.
Justice, you have anything to add? Or
I mean, I liked it, even though I had to go fix a fence and load a car. I liked what I heard.
um,
So
you think we should continue doing this as us four and maybe have us five and maybe have like a guest every now and then? You
I
think?
mean, yes, I do like it, but the thing we should start discussing is more, or what we thought of the ops the previous weekend and what we
Yeah,
think about it. But we're that was kind of the plan from what I see. So yeah,
yeah.
no, guest stars would be nice. Like if Lee could keep his cool, that'd be a pretty cool guest star.
Dude, like I said, 5 people, okay? And that sixth, you guys will hear here first. That sixth is for people like Lee, the owner of the server. Other Zeuses that I feel like we could talk to about ops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully, maybe one day, maybe Remy, maybe Operator Drewski, maybe.
We'll see.
Look. I'm the guy that has big dreams here. You guys can have small little tiny dreams and whatnot, but I have big dreams. I dream big, and I doubt that they will. But it's hopeful, right? It's hopeful,
It's
thankful, and it keeps you on to the next day. Raptor, you have anything to say?
I think next time we need to talk a little bit more about the subject that we built this podcast on.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I said, podcast. I feel like podcast should for me, I feel like this was the adequate one. I know that we need to talk more about Arma, but I feel like you can go places and end on certain subjects and start on certain subjects, but every place in between is just you adding on to those and taking away. But anything else from you guys before I end it?
Nah.
Okay. So as always, I do thank you guys for watching. If you are watching currently or watching later down the road, I do hope that you would find time to join our Milsim if you haven't already. It's in the link in the description. There's a lot of different things coming up, a lot of different ideas that I have that going through into this podcast. Um, I will be trying to edit some stuff and put it on the actual Reaper Company channel here soon. But you'll see the behind the scenes, and then you'll see the full video on Reaper Company. But as always, you guys know I'm Glass. I talk a lot. Yeah, Mage here. Just say bye or whatever.
um,
Yeah,
wait, what are we saying?
yeah. Just say bye or
Adios,
whatever.
muchachos.
We got Hudson. We got Mage, of course. He just said it.
SoCon's the best.
Raptor's here as well.
Bye.
Like I said, go follow him on twitch.tv/hi I'm Raptor. Then we also have Justice. You have any final final words? Say bye, or anything like that.
Bye, and make sure to have a good day, lads. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, and as always, I'm Glass. I'm your quote unquote host, and I hope you guys stay serious whenever you have to and laugh when you need to.